In this video, we'll be seeing about the design of an asynchronous sequential circuit. In this question, we have to design a circuit with two inputs D and G and one output Q. The condition is if G is 1, the output should be the value of D. If G is 0, the output will be memory, that is, the previous value of Q. The first step is to form the state table with the given information. So let's say the inputs are 0 and 1 respectively. The gate is 1, therefore the output will be the value of D, so output is 0. Similarly, for 1 and 1, output will be 1. I name these states as A and B. We know that when the value of gate is 0, the output will be the previous value of Q. So I obtain different combinations of input and output for which gate is 0. For state C having inputs 0, 0 and output as 0, the previous state having output 0 is A. Therefore, state C can be after A. For state D having inputs 1, 0 and output as 0, the previous states having output 0 are A and C. But the transition from A to D is not possible because two of the inputs change simultaneously, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, which is not allowed in fundamental mode of operation. But the transition from C to D is possible. Only one input change, and so the previous state of D is C. We can see that the reverse is also possible. State C can also be after D. Output is 0, only one input change. So state C can also be after D. Following the similar procedure, I obtain the previous states for E and F, and I note these things down. The next step is to form the primitive flow table. So here the inputs will be the columns and states will be the rows. First, I fill the stable states. State A has inputs 0, 1 and output 0. For current state A and input 0, 1, it will be a stable state A with output 0. Similarly, I fill all these stable states. Next, we know that in fundamental mode, two inputs cannot change simultaneously. So, I put dash marks in the cells in which both inputs differ from the stable state. Therefore, I have to put dash marks in the cells which are not adjacent to the stable state. So, in the first row, I put dash marks here which will be a don't care condition. From the state table, we can see that the state C having inputs 0, 0 is reached after A or D. So, in the first column, when the input is 0, 0 and the current state is A, the next state will be an unstable state C. The output will be a don't care. Similarly, for current state D and input 0, 0, next state is an unstable C with output don't care. Similarly, I fill for all other states. We can interpret this like this. Say the circuit is in the stable state A. The input changes from 0, 1 to 0, 0. The next state will be the unstable state C, and when C becomes the current state, the circuit will attain a stable state C. The next step is to form the implication table. I write all the states except the last horizontally and all the states except A vertically downwards. Now I have to compare all possible pairs of the states. For A and D, C, don't care, A, don't care, 0, don't care, B, don't care, D, don't care, 0. We can see that there are no conflicting states, therefore A and B are compatible. So I put check marks here. If we compare C and F, C, F, 0, 1, we can see that the outputs are conflicting, therefore these are not compatible states. So I cross the box. If I compare B and C, 0, don't care, C, don't care, 0, A, don't care, B, don't care, 1, don't care, E, D, don't care. we can see that only E and D are conflicting. If E and D are compatible, B and C will also be compatible. Therefore, B comma C implies D comma E. I note these implied states in this cell, and if I compare D and E, C, F, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care, B, don't care, don't care, D, E, 0, 1. We can see that the outputs conflict and therefore D and E are not compatible states. So I cross this out, and I can also cross out the cells in which D and E are implied states. Following this procedure, I fill all other cells. From the implication table, I get all the compatible pairs AB, AC, AD, BE, BF, CD, and EF. Next, to obtain larger sets of compatible states, we have to find the maximal compatibles using the merger diagram. I mark all the states on the circumference of the circle and connect all the compatible pairs. A line denotes the two states are compatible, a triangle denotes the three states are compatible, and an n-sided polygon with all its diagonals connected denotes an n-state compatible. From the merger diagram, the maximal compatible is AB, ACD, and BEF. However, it is possible to obtain a smaller set. It has to satisfy the closed covering condition for merging the rows. If I remove AB from the maximal compatible, it will be left with ACD and BEF. We can see that all the states from the original table are covered and that there are no implied states for AC, AD, CD, BE, BF, EF, as you can see from the implication table. So the minimal compatible set will be ACD, BEF. The three rows ACD can be merged to a single row, and similarly BEF can be merged to a single row. For the merged row, we can take a common letter symbol and we can override the don't care entries, and stable state and outputs are included. In the first column, C, stable C, C, the entry should be stable C. Don't care 0, don't care, the entry should be 0. Stable A, don't care, the entry should be stable A. 0, don't care, the entry should be 0. Similarly, I fill all the other cells. I can use a common letter symbol for the states of the merged row. So let A, C, D be replaced with A and B, E, F be replaced with B. Next, we have to assign a binary state variable to each of these two states. Here we can assign binary variables directly because there can't be any critical races in a two-row table. Otherwise, we have to follow the procedure for race reassignment. So I assign 0 to A and 1 to B. Taking only the next state variables, I obtain the transition table. We can obtain the Boolean expression for the excitation variable y from the map. For the outputs, we have two don't care entries. We can assign either 0 or 1. If I assign 1 here and 0 here, we can see that the output table will be equal to the transition table. Therefore, Q will be equal to Y. If I assign 1 here and 0 here, Q will be equal to small y, which is the current state. Either way, we obtain the same circuit. With the expression, I obtain the circuit without a latch. To implement this with an SR latch, I look up the excitation table of the latch. We know that this is the current state and the next state. From the excitation table, we can see that for the current state 0 and the next state 0, the values of S and R are 0 and don't care. So I enter these values in the corresponding maps. And for the current state 1 and next state 1, the value of S is don't care and the value of R is 0. Similarly, I fill both these maps and I obtain the expression for S and R, and then I latch. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.